welcome back. Today's session will be a little bit more movement, but as always, everything I offer here is nothing more than a guide. I encourage you and invite you to take this at your own pace, take from it what you need, and leave the rest behind. So taking a moment to find your seat. Maybe you're sitting on a blanket or a bolster, or maybe you're connected directly to your mat. And as always, I invite you to give yourself permission to arrive into this space, into this practice, remembering that this practice is different from all the practices before, because every time we come to the mat, we are in a different place physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically. So giving yourself permission to show up in whatever way you are showing up right now, right here. And again, resting the palms face down on the knees or face up or somewhere in between. Releasing any movement, wiggles, giggles, tears, laughters, screams, whatever you need to release, to shed. And when it feels right and ready, closing the eyes. If that does not feel safe to do so, just lowering the gaze, letting the eyelids become heavy. And giving yourself a few moments in this space of stillness to notice what you notice. What do you notice in your space? What do you notice in your body, your physical body, your energetic, emotional, mental bodies? What do you notice in your breath? And as you make these observations, I encourage you to notice only with curiosity, not through the story that you woke up with, or the story that perhaps you've been telling for some time now. But what is happening right now? Knowing and trusting that now is not the time for you to analyze or judge or defend or validate. Right now is the opportunity to witness. And for those of you who may be new to practicing with me, I have for the last 5 years only taught in person. And given our current climate, this time of social distancing, I feel very much called to continue sharing with each of you what I believe to be strong medicine. And now I am sharing in this new virtual way. So I'll be slowly bringing in aspects of in-person sessions to these virtual sessions. And so as you remain sitting in your space of stillness, noticing what you notice, I'll offer a reading from one of my favorite books, Warrior of the Light by Paulo Coelho. And in this excerpt he writes, "The warrior of the light unwittingly takes a false step and plunges into the abyss. Ghosts frighten him and solitude torments him. His aim has been to fight the good fight, and he never imagined that this would happen to him, but it did. Shrouded in darkness, he makes contact with his master. 'Master, I have fallen into the abyss,' he says. 'The waters are deep and dark.' 'Remember one thing,' replies his master. 'You do not drown simply by plunging into the water. You only drown if you stay beneath the surface.' And the warrior uses all his strength to escape from his predicament. So allowing those words to settle into the background of your practice is something to contemplate, to think about how this time in solitude, quarantine, social distance, how that might be impacting you emotionally and energetically, financially. All of those things, there is space in this practice to hold all of that. So thinking about that, we'll bring our palms together in front of heart center. As always, setting an intention for this prayer in motion, this movement practice. And if it feels more serving, perhaps you use this practice to radiate the energy that you cultivate here out to someone else. And as always, when you feel that intention has been set, we'll rub the palms together vigorously, building heat, sealing it in, setting it in. Starting to slow it down, we'll gently peel the palms apart, just becoming aware of that energy radiating between the palms of the hands. And for a moment, we'll take the palms to cup lightly over the eyes, allowing for a moment of complete darkness. If this feels at all unsafe, you can just peel the bottoms of the palms away, allowing light to come in through the bottoms of the hands. And we'll find one big breath here. Holding at the top. Part the lips, exhale, sigh it out. Good. Bringing the palms together, we'll inhale up, maybe the head drops back, breathing into the front of the throat. Exhale, float the palms down. Good. We'll do that again. Inhale, floating the palms up. As I do this, I always visualize building and opening up an orb. It can be any color that comes to mind. Imagining creating this protective shield around your body, around your being, around your practice. We'll do it one more time. As we inhale, float the arms up. We'll keep the palms together as we exhale, turning the upper body to the right. Right fingertips behind you, left palm to right knee. Fingertips press into the earth and the knee. Inhale, tall through the crown of the head. Exhale, twist gently, belly, chest, chin. Nothing to force. If we're looking at this twist on a spectrum from 0 to 100, we're somewhere around 25% in terms of effort. With the arrival of your next inhale, we'll bring it back to center, arms up overhead, palms meet. Exhale, upper body over to the left, left fingertips behind you, right fingertips to the left knee. Inhale, tall. Exhale, twist belly, chest, chin. With the arrival of your next exhale, we'll bring it back to center. And we'll find a cross-legged position so that the right heel comes in towards the groin, the left heel comes out in front. If you find that in this position your knees are up really high, this will be a good opportunity to bring your blocks into support so that you're not focusing your effort on holding your knees up. Okay, so that is an option. Otherwise, the knees are down. We make sure that our hips, our sit bones are rooted to the earth. We'll take our fingertips out in front of us and slowly walk the hands forward. Lowering down maybe to forearms, maybe forehead to earth, maybe forehead to a block, or you can stack your fists, resting your forehead here. And then finding a place where you can settle into softness as you breathe into the left hip, the outer left hip, into the left IT band. Remembering that there's nothing to force. Remembering that in our folds, it does not matter how deep you fold. And finding 2 more breaths or 2 more counts here. As you slowly release that second exhale, we'll slowly walk back up. You can take the hands behind you, reversing or switching the legs. Left heel comes in towards the groin, right foot in front, fingertips in front. Inhale, tall. Exhale, walk the hands forward. Noticing if this side feels different. So as we start to move between right and left side body, you may notice subtle differences. Maybe you're slightly deeper or slightly tighter on one side than the other. This is all perfectly normal, especially if you're like me. My right leg is in fact 1 inch shorter than my left, and my body has done a lot to compensate for this. In my practice, this yoga practice has helped balance left and right side body. I'm finding 2 more breaths, 2 more counts. And with the release of the second exhale or the second count, slowly walking up, we'll take our hands behind us, release the legs, setting your props to the side if you use them, and we'll take our feet about as wide as the mat. Hands behind us, fingertips pointed away from the body, and taking your time to gently rock one knee into center at a time. And as you do this, just becoming aware of the stretch in the outer thigh, that IT band. And we're going to come into a deeper twist. The next time the knees fall over to the left, we'll let them meet the earth. Right hand carries through center behind you. As you arrive here, take a moment to line the palms up, press the hands into the earth, lift tall through the crown of the head. Breathing here, noticing where the stretch occurs in your body. Noticing what is being invited to open, expand, release. We'll find 2 more breaths or counts in this shape. And before coming out, we'll return our left palm to its starting position. Right hand carries through center as the knees move through center over to the right. Left hand through center behind you. Lining both palms up, press the hands into the earth. Straighten the arms, breathe here. The inside of my left foot is connected to the earth. The outer edge of my right foot is connected to the earth. And 2 more counts or breaths here. And before coming out, we'll return our right palm, carry the left palm through. And then we'll cross our ankles, rolling over our knees, coming into tabletop. In our tabletop position, if you have wrist pain, carpal tunnel, you've had surgery, whatever the case may be, you can release to fists, exposing the thumb down to the earth, and press the fingers into the earth. Otherwise, palms are rooted, fingers are spread wide. We're creating sort of a suction cup with our palms. The knees are under the hips, and just for a moment, we'll tuck all 10 toes. If you have sensitive knees, I highly encourage you to place a blanket under the knees for support. We'll shift the hips back, giving a stretch to the soles of the feet as you rock the hips side to side. Maybe the toes crack. We'll bring it back to center. Untuck the toes, give the tops of the feet tap. Good. Bring your awareness to the spine. So we want a neutral spine, as if we could balance a board on the back. Let the belly be soft. As you inhale, lift the tailbone. We got some competition here. He's not feeling it. We'll lift the tailbone, release the belly, lift the heart, lift the head. We're going to hold this shape, imagining that someone is pulling a string from the crown of the head and the hips up towards the sky. Noticing how it impacts the breath. How does it feel in your sternum, your collarbone? With your eyeball of your next exhale, slowly tilting the tailbone down, rounding the spine, lowering the heart and the head, holding here. Keep the breath moving. Imagining now that someone is pulling a string from the center of your spine up towards the sky. So can you push the earth away from the hands, the tops of the feet a little bit more? And then moving it into flow with your inhale, lifting the tailbone, releasing the belly, lifting the heart, lifting the head. And as you exhale, rounding the spine. And maybe it feels accessible and serving to sync your movement with the breath. If that feels like too much, just focus on the movement. Focus on what it feels like in your body. If you're a visual person, I always love the visualization of a golden orb moving up and down my spine. from the very root of my spine to the base of my skull, bringing warmth, lubrication, knowing that if you can only do one thing for your body physically each day, let it be this. This is the most important thing we can do for our bodies, bringing fluidity and movement to the spine. And we'll start to bring it back to neutral, back to tabletop, with the undulation of the spine ceasing. We'll bring our knees as wide as the mat, big toes touch. We'll keep our left palm here under the left shoulder. As we inhale the right hand to the sky, we'll take the hand to the base of the skull. Elbow inhales to the sky. As you exhale, round the spine, right elbow meets left elbow crease. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Release the fingertips to the sky. As you exhale, thread the arm through. So as you take your time lowering down, the right temple meets the earth. The right palm faces up towards the sky. You can take the left hand and fingertip crawl towards the top of the mat, staying here. Or maybe you take a half bind, reaching for the right thigh. Wherever you are, give yourself a moment to explore each variation available to you and decide what feels serving to your body in this practice. Not comparing to all the times you've done this before, but noticing right now. Finding the breath, using your breath as a flashlight as it travels through the physical body into the parts being opened, being pulled upon. One more breath, one more count. We'll release the left hand, returning it wherever it went to our starting position, using the left hand to press our way back up, right fingertips float up towards the sky, down to the earth. Good. From here, both palms under the shoulders. We'll find one undulation of the spine in this shape, lifting the hips, lifting the heart, lifting the head. As you exhale, round, pulling the navel in, pulling the chin in towards the chest, and releasing. Right palm under, left fingertips to the sky. We'll take the left hand to the base of the skull. Inhale, left elbow up. Exhale, left elbow to right elbow crease. Inhale, up. Exhale, close. Inhale, open, release the fingertips. Exhale, thread it through. As you enter the side, just take a moment to notice if it's the same. And going through each of the modifications available and finding what feels serving on this side. Hips are energetically shifting back. Noticing what part of the body can soften, what part of the body can remain active and engaged. One more breath or one more count. We'll slowly release the fingertips wherever they were back to its starting position. Right palm presses us up, left fingertips to the sky, down to the earth. We'll find one more undulation here. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, rounding. Good. Releasing it back to our tabletop, knees under the hips, and we'll find our blocks. If you have the blocks, if not, that's perfectly okay. Or your books. Just offering a little bit of length to the arms. And we'll step our right foot back, stretching and breathing into the right calf, and we'll lift the right leg off the earth. We want to take a moment to make sure that the hips are squared and leveled, so we're not sinking too low or shooting up too high. We'll inhale here, lengthening out of the right foot as if someone were pulling your foot. And as you exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest, and we'll come through, bringing it towards the right block or your right hand. We'll tuck the left toes, wiggle the left knee back, and then lift the left knee off the earth. So taking a moment to arrive here in this low lunge, breathing into the left hip flexor, right hip. Left palm is on your block. We'll take the right fingertips to the sky. Breathing into the right hip, left hip. One more breath here. We'll slowly lower it down. Good. Finding your balance here, option to lower the left knee. Otherwise, we'll send our arms forward as we come up into a high crescent lunge. As you arrive here, taking a few moments to pulse as you land gently into the left hip flexor. You can play around noticing what it feels like to rise up onto the left tippy toes versus what it feels like to press through the left heel. 90-degree bend in the right knee. We'll breathe here. And we'll start to cactus the arms back as if there are dragon wings, squeezing the shoulder blades together, holding here, lift through the head, breathing into the throat. And then finding an exhale to release the arms once again down to our block. For a slight variation, we'll lift the right foot, step it back to our plank pose. We'll lower our knees down, once again returning to table tap. Stepping the left foot back, pressing through the heel, breathing into the calf, lifting the left calf, maybe even rolling out the ankle, flexing, pointing the foot. We'll inhale to lengthen, exhale, round as you step the left foot forward to meet the left block or left hand. Right toes tuck as you wiggle the knee back, lifting the knee off the earth. Right palm stays down on the earth or your block as the left hand goes to the sky. Maybe the gaze follows, maybe it stays straight, maybe it stays down. Noticing what the side feels like compared to the other, only with curiosity. With the arrival of your next exhale, releasing the left palm down to the earth, finding your balance. We'll send the arms forward, rising up into our high crescent lunge. Again, pulsing here a few times. And finding stillness, finding your drishti somewhere straight ahead or down on the earth. Engaging the lower belly, keeping strong in the low back. We'll start to cactus the arms, dragon, flying them back, squeezing the shoulder blades, lifting through the throat, the crown. And with the arrival of your exhale, releasing the palms down to your blocks. Stepping the left foot back to your plank pose, and we'll take a variation of chaturanga, accessing upward dog. So bending the elbows, slowly lower down. We're forced into a hover as we roll forward onto the balls of the feet, coming onto the tops of the feet, pressing up into a up dog. So our thighs, our shins, knees up off the earth. And then from here, we'll roll over the tops of the feet, tucking one toe at a time, coming into our first down dog. As you enter down dog, bend the knees, pedal the feet. Being mindful if your blocks slip. Eventually working your way into stillness, finding your drishti at your ankles or your knees, finding your breath. Maybe you bring in ujjayi breath at this time if you haven't already been using that. So it's like fogging up a mirror, that restricted back of the throat breathing. We'll step our right foot forward, letting it connect completely to the mat, breathing into that deep stretch in the back of the right leg. Stepping the left foot forward in front of the right, breathing into the back of the left leg. Right foot comes forward to meet the left, side by side. Finding a fold, hands off the block, bend the knees, let the upper body hang heavy. Head shakes no, nods yes, maybe you sway side to side. We'll release elbows if you were grabbing them, slide the palms up the shin as you inhale, flat back, gaze stays down towards the earth. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, let the upper body hang heavy as you slowly roll up. Imagining that you are a fern unfurling in the spring. Shoulders come up towards the ears, exhale, down and back, shine the palms forward, Tadasana, mountain pose. If it feels comfortable and accessible, close the eyes here. Bringing your attention to the soles of the feet. Imagining roots growing from the soles of your feet down into the earth and up from the earth into the soles of the feet. Those roots intertangled. Supported. Breathing into the light within the body, within the energy body, within the mind. When you feel rooted through the feet, I invite you to gently open the eyes, float them open if they closed. And we'll move through some vinyasa here with Sun Salutation A. Option to continue using the blocks as I just demonstrated. I'll continue to use them so you can see how that works and how they might assist you. Again, just optional. So we'll begin at the top of our mat. If you are using your blocks, you want to keep them in that position where your hands would be under the shoulders. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. We'll inhale the arms out and up, palms together. Exhale down through heart center, bowing forward all the way down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, planting the hands on your blocks or the earth. We'll step right foot back, left foot back. And we'll lower, bend our elbows. Exhale, lower slowly down through chaturanga as you inhale to up dog. Exhale, rolling over the feet into our second down dog. Finding your drishti and your breath. And then remembering that if the heels do not touch the earth, that is perfectly okay, not the goal. We'll extend the right leg to the sky, bend the knee as you shift forward into a three-legged plank. Step the right foot forward, left foot forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, tuck the chin, reverse swan dive, arms flow all the way out and up, palms together, down to heart center, samasthiti. You take a breath here. We'll do this one more time on the other side, releasing the hands to Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale the arms out and up, palms together. Exhale down through heart center, bowing, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step left foot back, right foot. Inhaling here at plank as you exhale, elbows gently bend and lower down. Inhale, rise up, cobra, or up dog. Exhale, we roll over the feet, down dog. And the action we want to maintain here is that we're pressing our hands into our blocks or our earth as the hips move towards the sky and down towards the earth from the hamstrings and the legs. We'll extend the left leg to the sky, keeping the hips squared. Bend the knee, shift forward into our three-legged plank. Step the left foot forward to meet the left hand or block. Right foot forward to meet the left foot. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, tuck the chin, reverse swan dive, arms float out and up. Palms together, down through heart center, samasthiti. You take 3 breaths here. We'll release the hands. We'll step our blocks to the side for a moment as we start to make our way down to our belly. So we'll inhale the arms out and up, palms together, exhale down through heart center, folding, bowing forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. Step walker, playfully hop the feet back to plank. And we'll maintain that lowering down, but this time we're going to lower all the way down to the belly. So slowly letting an exhale descend you down towards the earth. Elbows in towards the body. Taking your time to arrive here. Untucking the toes, tucking the chin, letting the tip of the nose graze the earth. We'll inhale, peel it up, Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. Finding those same flows as we did in our previous flow. Releasing down. Inhale, peeling up. Exhale, releasing it down. Inhale, peeling it up. Exhale, releasing it down. We'll move into Sphinx pose. So right where the hands are, we'll place our elbows. Forearms and palms come straight out in front. And we want to maintain action here. So we're pressing the hands and the forearms into the earth so that we can lift out of the shoulders, out away from the collarbones and the sternum. So breathing into this gentle back bend. You can stay right here, or maybe if it feels comfortable, you can let the head start to hang heavy forward in towards the chest. Maybe find semicircles here, breathing into each side of the neck. Moving slowly, mindfully. Remembering that when we plunge into the waters, into the abyss, it does not help us if we move quickly, if we flail about. But if we move consciously and mindfully with intention and attention, we do have the power to ascend, to rise up. And if the head is still hanging heavy, we'll bring it back to center, and we'll keep our elbows where they are. Take the palms out to the corner edges of the mat as we also open our feet up to about as wide as our mat. On an inhale, press through the heels of the hands as you straighten the arms, deepening the back bend. Shoulders remain down away from the ears. Checking in with the body, making sure you're not clenching in the glutes or lifting the backs of the thighs or the tops of the thighs up off the earth, but letting everything be soft here, except for the engagement required in the low back, mid back. Good. And we'll slowly lower it down. Slide the elbows out, create a pillow with the hands, bend the knees, and gently windshield wiper the feet side to side. Good. We'll release the feet, bring our palms once again into that cobra position, tuck the toes. Yogi's choice to press up through tabletop, or maybe you press up through a push-up, and we'll come into a modified side plank. So lowering our right knee down, we're going to keep our right foot forward out of our left knee. We'll slowly lower down our left foot so that it's completely connected to the earth. Taking our left hand and rising up to the left hip. Just take a moment to find that opening across the chest, shoulders stacking. And maybe you stay right here, this is perfectly fine, or maybe you extend the left hand to the sky. Maybe you take your gaze up to the left hand, or it stays down with the right, or maybe it stays forward. Whatever feels serving to the neck in this expression. And you can stay right here with the left fingertips up towards the sky, or maybe finding a slight side body stretch here as you reach the left fingertips over the head, breathing into the left ribs, into the left underarm. And we'll bring the left hand back up if you took the side body stretch, lowering the left hand down. We'll find a full plank, lowering the left knee under the left hip, right foot meets the earth. Right hand comes to the hip first, opening the chest through center, and then right hand goes to the sky. Maybe the gaze follows, maybe it looks straight down. And again, maybe you stay right here with the right fingertips to the sky, or find that side body stretch, reaching the right fingertips up overhead. And the right fingertips can come back up to the earth, down, or up to the sky, down to the earth. Left foot steps back. Finding our plank, we'll shift the hips back to the sky, down dog, pedaling the feet. And we'll move into a lizard expression next. So lifting the right foot to the sky. We'll bend the knee, coming forward into that three-legged plank as you step the right foot forward into our low lunge. You want to just take a moment to make sure your blocks are nearby if you may need to use them. And we'll bring both hands to the inside of the right foot. The right foot will then edge out towards, it'll heel toe out towards the edge of the mat. And we're going to keep our heel connected to the mat, but the toes are going to fan out about 45 degrees. So once you enter this, maybe you stay here, maybe you decide this is enough opening in the right hip, and that's perfectly fine. Maybe you decide that you need to come down to forearms on level 1 or level 2 of your block, depending on the type and style and thickness of your block. Maybe you come down to forearms on the earth. And once you have your arms in place, maybe then you decide, do you want the left knee to remain lifted or do you want to lower it? Checking in with your body in this practice, honoring what it needs here now, not yesterday or the last time you practiced this shape, this expression. Breathing into the right hip, noticing where the stretch occurs in your body, noticing the sensation that it brings physically, emotionally, energetically. Wherever you are, we'll find 2 more breaths or 2 more counts. And if the left knee is lifted, we'll go ahead and gently lower it, taking your time to arrive back into our starting position with the hands, keeping the right foot where it is. Making sure that the right foot is still connected to the earth. We'll keep our left palm under our left shoulder as we take the right hand to the right thigh. Inhale, press with both hands, twist over the right shoulder, breathe here. With the arrival of your next exhale, releasing to center, we'll gently heel toe, right foot back to our starting position. Hands frame the foot. We'll lift the left knee. We pick up the right foot, send it all the way back to the sky. Left heel descends down towards the earth. We're going to come through a vinyasa expression here as we inhale, rise up to the left tippy toes. Exhale, wave forward into plank. As you exhale, bend the elbows, slowly lower down. Let both feet meet the earth. Inhale, rise up, cobra or up dog. Exhale, we'll meet in down dog. Pedaling out the feet to recalibrate, checking in with every part of your being, noticing what has arisen so far. And we'll take that same sequence to the other side. So lifting the left foot to the sky, bend the knee, shifting forward, stepping left foot forward to meet left hand. And then bringing both hands to the inside of the left foot, gently heel toeing left foot out, opening the foot out to a 45-degree angle, and then assessing the side. Maybe it's completely different. Honor your body. Your body is intelligent. It knows exactly what it needs, just like it knows when it's hungry or when it's thirsty. We have to learn the language of our bodies. So maybe you stay here, maybe it looks totally different. Maybe the right leg stays lifted on this side where it was lowered on the other. And breathing into the left hip, noticing with curiosity what is happening here. And remembering too that when you're in an expression, when you're in a shape, you're holding it for some time or for some breaths, you do not have to necessarily stay where you land. If 5 breaths in it starts to feel no longer serving, then you modify. You make it work for you. And so if the right leg is still lifted, we'll go ahead and gently lower it as we start to make our way back to our starting position. Right palm stays under the right shoulder, left palm comes to the top of the left thigh. As you inhale, press through both hands, twisting over the left shoulder. Breathe here. the arrival of your next exhale, we'll release the left hand down to the earth, lift the right knee. We'll gently lift our heel toe, our foot back to our starting position, hands frame the left foot. Palms down, we'll hug the left knee in as we shift the foot back to the sky. We'll find the same flow from here into our flowing plank as we inhale, rise up to the tippy toes, exhale, wave forward into plank. Exhale, slowly lower down, both feet meet the earth. Inhale, rise up, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Find your drishti, find your breath. We'll inhale, rise up to the tippy toes. As you exhale, wave forward into plank. Once again, we'll lower our knees, start to shift the hips back to the heels, balasana, child's pose. As you enter here, we'll keep the knees together for one full breath as you walk the fingertips out, letting the arms be soft. If your forehead does not meet the earth, you can bring a block to meet the forehead, or a book, or a blanket, or bolster, whatever you have. And then if it's more comfortable on the breathing, you can open the knees wide. However, if you have sciatica or low back pain, you want to keep the knees together somewhat to support and stabilize the low back. So finding a moment to completely surrender here. And maybe you drag the arms around the legs, grabbing the heels, swaying side to side. Letting everything settle and soften. Giving in to this moment. Giving up everything that has come before it. And when you're ready, we'll find our hands to frame around the head as we slowly press up, rising up to a kneeling position on the heels. Good. So we will be here for just a little bit. If this is uncomfortable, you can place a block or a bolster or blanket under the sit bones, alleviating some of the weight off of the heels. We'll find cactus arms, palms shining forward, chin parallel to the earth. Taking a moment to maybe feel the low back. So we want to make sure that we're not arching the chest forward, but we're nice and tall in the spine. The pelvis is slightly tilted and tucked. And we'll inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together as you open through the throat, through the head, through the heart. And as you exhale, we'll close it in. Forearms, palms meet, chin in towards the chest. Inhale, opening. Exhale, closing. Last time, we'll inhale, open. As we exhale, close, forearms and palms meet. The chest stays open, chin parallel to the earth. Option to stay here as you are, breathing into stillness, noticing what opens in the body here. To take it a little bit deeper, you can cross the right elbow over the left, palms of the back of the hands touch, or finding a full bind. If you take the full eagle arm shape, we'll keep elbows parallel to the earth, let the hands fall away from the head, chin towards the chest. Breathe here. And wherever you are, scanning the body, noticing if there are parts of the body that can soften while other parts of the body do the work. If you took the full bind, we'll gently release the head to center, release the arms. We'll inhale, open, squeezing the shoulder blades together, opening everything. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Last time, inhale, open. As you exhale, we'll close just the arms. Upper body stays upright, chin parallel to the earth. Staying right here, continuing to breathe into this, or cross left elbow over right. Back of the hands meet, or a full bind. If you took the full eagle arms, keep the elbows parallel to the earth, let the hands fall away from the head, chin towards the chest. Breathe here. The release of your next exhale, we'll bring our head to center, release the arms. We'll inhale to open, and as you exhale, just release the arms down. We'll inhale the shoulders up towards the ears, exhale, draw them down and back. A few more times. And for the sake of balance, we'll come forward just once. We don't want to spend too much time encouraging that shape because most of us tend to walk around the world with our shoulders caved in. So releasing from the seat, we'll sweep our feet around, extend them out in front. And since we were kneeling for a little bit, let's take a moment to shake our legs out. So the palms behind us, fingertips away from the body, shaking the legs, rolling the ankles in and out. Good, and we'll take a wide-legged stance here. So opening the legs wide, we'll have our block or bolster, blanket, whatever prop you are using nearby. And we want to open our legs only as wide as it feels most natural. An indicator of what is not natural is if your toes start to point inward. Okay? So we want to keep our toes effortlessly floating up towards the sky, kneecaps floating up towards the sky. We can take our thighs, make sure that they're sort of rotated here. Sit bones are connected to the earth. We'll sit up nice and tall. Option to use your block here, and you may want to set it in front of you, deciding if that is necessary. We'll inhale tall. As you exhale, start to walk the fingertips out, finding your edge. And again, a good indicator of your edge is if the toes start to fall forward. So once you find your edge, maybe you come down to forearms. Maybe you want to come down to your block, elevating, giving a little more height here, and you can use your block on level 2, level 1, or 2 blocks stacked on top of one another. If you don't have any props, but you need a little bit of height, just stacking the fists, resting the forehead here. Okay? So finding wherever you need to be in your fold, breathing into the inside of the legs, into the groin, and breathe here. Be here. Just this. Depending on where you're doing this, I always encourage in the studios and with clients to let the breath be heard, right? Let there be space created in the mind and the body through the breath. So don't be afraid to let the audible sighs out. It can feel scary and intimidating to be heard in this way. You know, we live in a world where hearing the breath is awkward. It can be strange, it can be weird, but I encourage you to play around with it, to come to this practice each time with curiosity, sweetness, playfulness. Think of this practice as that of the hummingbird, joyful, not intimidating. And with the release of your last exhale, slowly rising up. We'll keep our legs as they are, but we'll bring our right heel in towards the groin, so we have sort of an L shape with the legs, or a check shape maybe. And just take a moment to assess the sit bones, making sure they're still connected to the earth. And we'll inhale the arms out and up. As you exhale, square the upper body to the left leg. So the legs stay the same, but we open our upper body to the left leg. Left foot is flexed and engaged, toes up towards the sky and pulling forward towards the face. Inhale again. As you exhale, hinge at the waist, fold forward, let the hands meet the foot, the ankle, the calf, or alternatively framing the foot on the earth. If you find that you have a pretty deep fold here, you can take the right hand in front of the left foot as the left hand grabs a hold of the right wrist. Wherever you are in your fold, we'll take a big look at our big toe, a look at our big toe. Tuck the chin, exhale, fold forward. And as you fold, imagine leading with your heart. So as I said in our last session together, we want to imagine lifting our belly forward on our thigh as we guide this with our heart. So rather than slumping forward just to get our forehead to the shin, which is not what this is about, okay? Noticing where and how this stretch, this shape, this expression occurs in your body. What sensations arise. You can also have the knee bent if that feels more serving. We'll find 2 more breaths here. And with the release of your second exhale or second count, we'll slowly rise up, releasing the right leg back out to our starting position. Left heel comes in. Assessing the sit bones, we always want to make sure that we're anchored here. We'll inhale the arms up. Exhale, square the upper body to the right leg. Right foot is flexed and engaged. Exhale, hand to the waist, fold forward. Again, noticing if this side is different in any way. We'll inhale wherever you are to base the big toe. Exhale, fold forward, tucking the chin, keeping active in the back of the neck. Two more breaths or counts. And we'll slowly rise up. You can open the leg wide, and then we'll close the bottoms of the feet together, coming into a variation of butterfly. So we'll take our feet together out further away from the body so that we create a big diamond shape in between the legs. If the knees are up high and uncomfortable, place a block or your blankets or books or support under each knee so that you're not focused here. And we'll inhale tall through the crown of the head with the hands at the knees. As you exhale, slide forward, hands into prayer position over the tops of the feet, elbows on the outsides of the shins. Tuck the chin, exhale, fold. So in this expression, we feel most likely nothing in the groin, but we feel a stretch occurring in the back of the hips, the outer hips, the IT band. Finding 3 more breaths here, or counts. We'll slowly rise up, guiding the hands, the knees to gently close. We'll plant the feet and we'll find Navasana boat pose. From our Navasana boat pose, we'll start to make our way down to the mat. So just making sure that you have a block or bolster or your books handy nearby if you're using the props. We'll take our hands behind the knees, rock back on the sit bones, bringing the calves parallel to the earth. The option is stay right here as you are, focusing on lifting through the chest, really engaging your core. Maybe you play around with straightening one leg, maybe both legs, maybe the arms come off the body. Wherever you are, just breathe. Although we hold a pose in stillness, we keep the breath moving. Right? The breath is always flowing. The blood is always flowing. The cells are always flowing. If you took the full expression of Navasana, we'll lower down to our backside from here. If you're still in the modified version of Navasana, you can just slowly start to make your way down to your back however you get there. From Navasana, we'll slowly lower down, really engaging the core as we take our time to lower down bit by bit. When you get to that 6-inch point, we'll hold here and then release slowly down to the earth. Planting the feet. We want our feet hip-width distance apart, knees up towards the sky. Maybe the fingertips graze the backs of the heels. Tucking the chin slightly so that the back of the neck connects to the earth. And we'll inhale, peel up the hips, low back, mid back, upper back, finding bridge pose. So option is stay here, or maybe you interlace the hands, squaring one shoulder then the other to the earth. Maybe you bend the elbows as the palms mirror one another. Maybe you play around with some sort of strengthening with the arms overhead. Doing whatever feels right. You know what your body needs right now. Wherever you are with the arms, though, we want to imagine squeezing a block between the thighs So really engaging the adductor muscles, the inner thigh muscles. Knees stay pointed forward, toes, feet stay rooted into the earth, and breathe here. One more breath. And if you interlace the hands, we'll gently release as you lower upper back, mid back, low back, hips. Good. And we'll find a supported bridge with some variations now. So lifting the hips to find your block on level 1 or level 2. We want to set this under our sacrum, so that's the area in between the low back and the butt. So some of your butt should be hanging off and the low back should be mostly completely free here. And the palms can rest down beside you, face up, breathing here. Whether you have your block on level 1 or level 2 is up to you. Again, you may try level 1 and decide you need more and move up to level 2, or maybe you start at level 2 and decide it's too much. You can always pause and figure out what you need. But we'll go into some hip flexor release here. So we'll start by sliding our right heel forward on the mat, breathing into the right hip flexor. We'll draw our right foot back in, sliding the left foot out, noticing what you notice about this side. And if it feels comfortable, you won't know until you try. You can slide the right heel forward for a full frontal fascia opening. If this feels like too much, just go back to doing one foot at a time. If this feels accessible and like you can stay here for some breaths, maybe you play around with lifting the arms overhead, palms facing up towards the sky, breathing into the entire front side of the body, letting the shoulders soften, letting the tongue become heavy in the mouth, the cheeks soften, the eyes soften. Just let the whole body soften. You can pause this video and stay here for as long as you need. Otherwise, depending on where you are, just slowly starting to make your way back to our starting position, palms from the hips, feet planted with the earth, and we'll gently lift the hips to remove our block, lowering the hips slowly down to the earth, and gently windshield wipering the knees side to side. We'll bring it back to center. We'll hug the knees into the chest, giving yourself a big hug. Maybe you lift the head, drawing it into the knees. Maybe you're still, maybe you rock side to side, massaging the spine and the organs. And we'll start to slow it down, returning to stillness, taking the hands to the knees. Let the knees fall out away from the body. Drawing them over to the right, in towards the chest, over to the left, making big, slow circles with the knees as we massage into the low back. All the subtle, beautiful micro areas of the low back, SI joints, sciatic nerves. Moving slowly, hanging out anywhere that needs a little more pressure, a little bit more contact. And pausing when it feels right and ready to reverse the circle. And when you've made circles in both directions, we'll find a moment to pause with the knees at center. We'll peel the knees apart, moving them in circles opposite of each other. So now we move away from the low back into the hip sockets. This can feel really strange, especially in the sacral area if you've never done this. So just moving slowly, mindfully. And again, when it feels right and ready, pausing to reverse the circles. Still moving opposite of each other. And after you've moved the knees in both directions, we'll bring the knees together, open the arms out wide to a T, palms face down. We'll inhale here. As you exhale, gently lower the knees over to the left side. Option of climb the left palm on top of the right knee as you send your gaze over the right shoulder. Backs of the upper body stay connected to the earth. And when you feel you've arrived here, take a deep breath in, exhaling through the mouth as a sign of arrival. You are here, and there is nothing to do but just this. Again, pausing the video to stay here for as long as you need, otherwise we'll release the left palm, finding an inhale to squeeze the knees to center. As you exhale over to the right side, right palm on top of left knee, gaze moves over to the left, finding a big breath to arrive here, softening the entire body, surrendering into stillness. Imagining your body just melting into the outline of your shape, of your being. Nothing to hold on to, nothing to carry. You're just here, just this. Body on earth, breath in the sky. And again, staying here for as long as you need to, otherwise releasing the right palm, inhaling the knees to center, concluding this practice with happy baby pose. It's my favorite way to end, so you may find me ending every single session like this. Knees straighten the ribs, feet up to the sky, hands to the outside edges of the feet, inside edges of the feet, or snaking around the calves. Wherever you are, pulling down on the feet, having the entire spine connect to the earth. And maybe you're still here, maybe you rock side to side. Just noticing how that feels. Maybe you play around with straightening one leg, the other, both legs together. And if the legs are straight, we'll bend the knees, we'll bring our bottoms, our soles of the feet together, holding on the outer edges of the feet and allowing this rocking motion to occur if the rocking feels accessible, otherwise just holding still as we support our low back. And when you're ready, extending the legs, maybe adding more clothes or a blanket, an eye pillow, any support you can use right now to be completely comfortable in your Shavasana. And as you enter your Shavasana, I invite you to close the eyes if that feels comfortable, using an eye pillow for assist, or finding a soft gaze up towards the tip of the nose, or the ceiling, or the sky. Just limiting the amount of information you're taking in for a few moments. And just as we did at the start of this session, we'll find a cleansing breath, but at the top of this inhale, we'll hold the breath and we'll tense the body. So finding a big inhale, expanding through the belly, the ribs, the chest, puffing through the cheeks. Hold the breath and tense the body. Squeeze the fists, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the eyes, clench the teeth. Giving permission to any tension, any stress, any gunk in the body that is no longer serving to surface in order to be seen, to be heard, to be felt. And as you part the lips, exhale, sigh it out, soften the body, choose to let it go or make space for what must remain. But in doing so, integrate. Cradle the head side to side, relaxing the back of the neck, swallowing a few times, relaxing the throat, relaxing all the muscles in the face, the jaw, the tongue, the shoulders, and imagining the warmest water pouring into the crown of the head, cascading down the face, down the shoulders, the upper body, the arms, the hips, the belly, the legs, the feet, holding you, cleansing you. And remember that you can float in this water. You can remain above surface. And you can go deep and dark when you need to. But with mindfulness, with calmness, with intention and attention, you can always come back up. I'm pausing the video to stay here for at least 9 minutes, whatever you have time for to really rest. And when you're ready to conclude your final relaxation, Shavasana, you can find a deep stretch, inhaling the knees in, giving yourself another hug, rolling over to right side or left side, yin or yang. Resting here for a few moments, allowing the heart to readjust to being upright, allowing for integration. And with eyes closed or heavy, making your way upright, bringing your practice full circle, returning to Sukhasana, easy pose, or your comfortable seat. Palms on the knees to ground back into the body, noticing what you notice, witnessing. We'll bring our palms together in front of heart center, Anjali Mudra, heart seal, to seal our practice. Finding a big inhale, and as you exhale through the mouth, release the head, bowing, honoring the intention you set at the beginning, or the person you practice for. Honoring the depths, the abyss of your waters, honoring the times that we are in, honoring the uncertainty, honoring fear and anxiety and worry, honoring bravery, strength, resilience. Honoring everything that is. Releasing everything that is not. And as always, we honor tradition, lineage, the teachings of yoga, from which we practice with respect and appreciation. You can release the head to center, and we'll close this session with the sound of Om. As always, this is just an option. But remember something really beautiful, that when we hum, when we om, when we chant, when we sing, when we speak, when we use our voice, we send vibrations down that vagus nerve in the body that spirals along the spine like the Kundalini. So if you choose to om, we'll breathe in for Om. Thank you so much for sharing this prayer in motion, this practice with me, for letting me be your teacher, your guide, and your student. Namaste.